Hello everyone, welcome back to Data Science with Yash. So we're going to continue our discussion with respect to Python series. So in the last class we have discussed about the if statements, elif statements, else statements along with its examples, right? So in this today's session we'll be diving into the loops concept, which is very much important to understand the advanced concepts and also the nested loops and all. So let's get started with loops. So our agenda for today's session will be understanding what is for loop, what is while loop, and we have loop control statements. And within this loop control statement, we have break, we have continue, and we have pass. And finally, we'll try to explore this nested loop concept as well, if time permits. So let's get started with the introduction to loops. So the loops are the fundamental programming concepts which is used to iterate over a block of code multiple times. Like this loops concept is used when we want to make a repetitive task over that particular code. In that situation, we try to use this loops concept. So they are particularly useful when you need to perform repetitive tasks. As I said, so when you need to perform a repetitive tasks over that particular code, such as iterating over a collection of items. Iterating is nothing but traversing over that particular list or tuple, or you can tell it as a string, right? So the strings, list, tuple, dictionaries, these are only the collection of items. So iterating over this collection of items, right? So firstly, let's get started by understanding what is for loop. So a for loop is used to iterate over a sequence like a list. It can be a tuple, it can be a dictionary, it can be a set, or it can be a string as well. And we'll try to explore in the coming lectures about this list, tuple, dictionary, and sets, and the strings as well, and with an automatic increment of the loop counter, right? So let us try understanding what is written here through an example. So I started off by taking a variable, a temporary variable. This I is a temporary variable for time being. So for I in the range of 10. So range basically is like you are trying to in this particular example you are trying to print a sequence of the numbers right from the 1 to 10, right? And you're not including the 10. This 10 is exclusive here. Let us try printing this first. So range of 10, what it does is it gives you the value from 0 to 10, and this is again exclusive. 10 will not get printed. You can check here. So when you're trying to print, or when you're trying to traverse through this range of 10 numbers, so it started with 0 and it ended till 9, right? So in this example you have specified two things. This is just press shift and tab. You'll come to know what all you can specify within this range. You can start with any number, and you can place a stop condition and then the step size, right? So this one is inclusive and this 10 is exclusive. You can see here the output, we don't have 10, right? So if you want to include 10, you have to specify 11, and then we can get the 10. Clear? So here in this example I specified the step size. You can see here it started with 1, and since we have given the step size as 2, it skipped to the next number and it went to the next number, and skipped 4 and gave the 5, skipped 6 and gave 7, and similarly, right? And in this example you're trying to print, or you're trying to print the sequence in a reverse order. You started off with 10 and you're stopping till 1, and you have given a step size of -1, which means you're trying to print in a reverse order, right? You can see here the output started with 10 and then 9, 8, 7, similarly till 2. Because this is exclusive, so this will not get printed, and right before the number is 2, so it stopped here. Clear? And next we're going to take an example related to strings and iterating over the strings. So let's say I'm trying to traverse through this string by using a for loop. I have taken a variable as my name and have given it as P Yashwanth, and in this program I'm trying to print each character that is present in the string, right? So for I in my name, I is nothing but the temporary variable, right? So for that I in my name, I'm trying to print I, which means it it will traverse through this sequence. It will first check for individual character. For I, it will fetch P and it will try to print, and then it print this space, and then Y A S W A and TH similarly. Clear? And next comes the while loop concept. So this while loop will execute as long as the condition is true. You can relate this with, like, you keep on drinking the water until the bottle is empty, right? Similarly, a while loop will execute as long as the condition is true, right? And I'll try to explain this through some example. Just a second. So I'll try to explain this through an example. Mm, yeah, by writing. Yes. So let me first take a temporary variable I equals to 0, and I'm specifying a condition like while I is less than 5. Clear? Print I, and I'm also trying to increment by 1. Clear? So until and unless this condition is fulfilled, you'll stop, the loop gets stopped, right? So let's understand the concept behind this. So first it starts with 0, right? So 0 is less than 5, and since this condition is getting satisfied, it will try to print I, which means 0. So let's say our output is here, and first is it got printed with 0, and then I'm trying to change the value. I'm trying to increase the counter by 1, right? So now the I value will be, initially it is 0, I plus 1, right? So 0 plus 1 is 1. Clear? Now the I value is 1, right? So this I will again traverse through this loop. So 1 is less than 5. 1 is less than 5. This is true, right? So again the value gets printed here. So now the I value will be, initially it is 1 and we are adding 1. So this is 2 now. Clear? And again this 2 will traverse through this. So 2 is again less than 5. This is true, right? So this value gets printed here. So now the I value will be, initially it is 2 and plus 1. So now the value of I is 3. So now 3 will go here again. 3 is less than 5. 3 less than 5 is again true, right? So this gets printed here, and the output now will be 3 plus 1 is nothing but 4. So this 4 will traverse here again. So next condition is 4 is less than 5. This is also true. So this gets printed here, and now the I value will be what? 4 plus 1, and this is 5, right? At this point, just have a close look. This 5 will try to traverse through this, but this condition is not satisfying, right? 5 is less than 5. This is wrong, right? So the loop stops here, and our output will be this, right? So let us cross check with what we have here. You can see here, when I'm trying to print, I'm getting these values. Clear? I know you're looking for more such examples, but as we move along, we'll try to explore more examples and we'll try to clear the entire concept of while loop and for loop, right? So, and next, a loop control. Loop control, I've got the example here of the loop control itself. Yes, the break statement, we have the continue and the pass, right? So, what this example is explaining here, let's say I have taken, or I was traversing through the range of 50 numbers, and I'm trying to tell if that particular number equals to 25. Break. Break is nothing but we are trying to come out of the loop entirely, permanently, right? And if it is not 25, try to print I, right? That I'll try to explain. The first is I'm traversing through 0 to 50, right? And when I find the number 25, I should come out of loop. And if it is not 25, try to print the numbers, the 0 to 24, right? This should be our output. And when it hits 25, when this gets fulfilled, you have to come out of loop, right? So you can see here, it started with, for I in the range, it started with 0. And if I is not equals to this, 0 is not equals to 25, right? So it is getting printed here. And similarly, 1 2 3 3 4, and till 24. So after 24, when it is fetching for 25, you can see here, if I equals to 25, we specified a condition to break here. Break, what it does is it entirely comes out of the loop permanently. Clear? And this is something you can relate with when you find a multiple task, when you have a multiple tasks and you found the right task and you stop there, right? When you're finding the right task, when you are actually finding the task you're looking for, and you stopped at that point, and it is similar to that. Like when you found the number 25, you're coming out of the loop, right? And one more example is, for I in the range 15, if I equals to 10, break, and if else, print that particular number. You can see here similarly. So I've taken a range of 15 numbers, and within the 15 numbers it starts printing from 0. And when it is, when it is able to get to the value of 10, it is trying to come out of the loop. So it's trying to print from 0 to 9. Clear? And then the continue statement skips the current iteration and continues with the next, right? So what it does is, you are specifying certain condition, like if this number is coming, and then you are specifying continue. What it does is, at this particular condition or at this particular situation, it tries to skip and it moves to the next step. Let's see what it gets printed here. You can see here, I have tried writing, like for I in the range of 15, if I double equals to 10, when this condition comes, I'm trying it to continue. So here you can see, after 9 you have directly 11. So when this condition is coming, you're trying to skip that, and then you're continuing with the next, and then you're continuing with the next numbers. Clear? And the next is the pass, and this is nothing, simply nothing. So pass is, this is just a null operation that does nothing. There is no effect of using this pass here. You can see here, for I in the range of 15, I'm trying to tell if I double equals to 10, I'm simply writing pass, and it does simply nothing when you're trying to print. So when I'm trying to print, it's doing nothing. And you can see here, there is no effect. It started with 0 and it ended till 14, right? So let's continue our discussion with nested loop in the next class. So that's it all about the while loop, for loop, and we'll be coming up with more such examples and more such programs, important programs, in a separate series, right? I hope the explanation and the examples are clear with this concept. And if you need any further clarification, feel free to drop a comment below or reach out to me on social media. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And also stay updated. We'll be coming up with more advanced topics in Python programming, right? Thank you so much.